Ever looked at rich people and wondered, what do they understand about money that everyone else doesn't? Because think about it. Most people spend their entire lives chasing money, stressing over money, arguing over money, working jobs they hate because of money. Yet very few people are ever actually taught what money really is. School teaches you how to memorize formulas, but almost never teaches you why one person stays broke forever while another quietly builds wealth for decades. So today we're breaking down money in the simplest way possible. What it is, how rich people use it differently, and why understanding this one topic can completely change the direction of your life. So first, what exactly is money? Most people think money is just paper or numbers on a screen, but money is really something much deeper. Money is stored value. That's it. Money is basically a tool humans created to store time, energy, and skills. Imagine you spend 8 hours working at a job. You don't actually get paid with money. What you're really doing is trading hours of your life for pieces of stored value. Those dollars represent your energy, your time, a piece of your life. That's why wasting money hurts so much emotionally. Deep down, your brain knows you're not just losing paper. You're losing hours you can never get back. Think of money like water flowing through society. People solve problems and money flows toward them. A barber gets money for solving messy hair. A restaurant gets money for solving hunger. A company like Apple gets billions because they solve communication, entertainment, and convenience for millions of people. Money is simply the reward for creating value. The bigger the problem you solve and the more people you solve it for, the more money usually flows back to you. That's one of the biggest mindset shifts rich people understand early. Poor people often chase money directly. Rich people chase value creation because they know money follows value. But here's where things get interesting. Most people only learn one way to make money: work for it. You work hours, you get paid, you stop working, the money stops too. It's basically survival mode. Imagine a guy named Daniel. Daniel works a normal job making $3,000 a month. Every month the same thing happens: rent, food, phone bill, entertainment, new clothes, maybe a little left over, then repeat again next month. Daniel isn't lazy. In fact, he works hard. But his entire financial system depends on him constantly trading time for money. If Daniel gets sick, stops working, or loses the job, the money stops immediately. This is how most people live their whole lives without realizing it. Now compare that to someone who understands how money actually works. Let's say Sarah also earns $3,000 a month, but instead of spending everything, she uses part of her money to buy assets. Assets are things that make money for you. Maybe she buys stocks. Maybe she starts a small online business. Maybe she buys a camera and learns a high-income skill. At first, the difference between Daniel and Sarah looks tiny, but fast forward 10 years and the gap becomes massive. Daniel is still working for money. Sarah slowly built systems where money starts working for her. That's the secret most rich people understand. The goal isn't to work for money forever. The goal is to eventually make money work for you. And this is where most people get trapped. Society teaches people to look rich instead of become rich. Huge difference. Looking rich is buying expensive shoes, cars, jewelry, and flexing online. Becoming rich is owning assets that quietly produce income behind the scenes. One gives temporary attention. The other gives long-term freedom. Imagine two people both receive $10,000. The first person buys designer clothes, a new phone, and vacations. The second person buys investments, skills, or starts building a business. 5 years later, the first person has memories and maybe some debt. The second person might now have income-producing assets worth far more than the original $10,000. Same money, completely different outcome. This is why money is so psychological. Most financial decisions are emotional, not logical. People buy things to impress others. They spend money to feel successful even when they're financially stressed. Companies understand this perfectly. That's why advertisements constantly sell status, not products. They're not selling shoes. They're selling confidence. They're not selling watches. They're selling importance. And if you don't understand this game, you can spend your whole life trapped in a cycle where money comes in and immediately disappears trying to maintain an image. Another thing rich people understand is inflation. And honestly, inflation quietly destroys people who never learn about money. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine you hide $100 under your mattress for 10 years. You still have the same $100, right? But the problem is the world changed around you. Food got more expensive, houses got more expensive, gas got more expensive. So even though the number stayed the same, the purchasing power shrank. Your money became weaker over time. This is why rich people hate leaving large amounts of cash sitting around doing nothing. They move money into assets because assets often grow faster than inflation. Think about it like planting seeds. Poor people often eat all their seeds immediately because they need survival today. Wealthy people plant some seeds so more can grow tomorrow. That's investing in its simplest form. Delaying consumption today to create more freedom later. And yes, investing has risks. Markets crash, businesses fail, bad decisions happen, but not investing at all also has a hidden risk, slowly falling behind forever while everything becomes more expensive around you. Now let's talk about the biggest misunderstanding about money. Most people think wealth means having lots of cash. cash. But real wealth is actually ownership, ownership of businesses, ownership of assets, ownership of systems producing value even while you sleep. Because if you stop working tomorrow and all your income disappears, that's not wealth, that's dependency. Real wealth is having enough assets generating income that your survival no longer depends entirely on your daily labor. This is why you'll hear rich people talk constantly about buying assets, because assets are like employees working for you 24 hours a day. A stock can grow while you sleep. A business can make sales while you're eating dinner. A rental property can generate income while you're on vacation. Rich people use money to buy freedom-producing machines. Poor people often use money to buy temporary pleasure. That single difference changes entire lives. But here's the important part. Becoming wealthy usually doesn't happen fast. Social media makes it look like everyone became a millionaire overnight. In reality, most wealth is built slowly and quietly through consistency. Saving consistently, investing consistently, learning consistently, improving skills consistently. The internet glorifies flashy success stories, but real wealth is usually boring for a very long time before it becomes impressive. And honestly, one of the most powerful things money buys isn't luxury, it's options. The option to leave toxic jobs, the option to help your family, the option to move cities, the option to take risks, the option to buy back your time. That's why understanding money matters so much. Money itself isn't the final goal. Freedom is. So if you remember one thing from this video, remember this. Money is not just paper. It's stored time, stored energy, and stored opportunity. And the people who become wealthy usually learn one critical lesson early. Don't just earn money. Learn how to keep it, grow it, and make it work for you. Because the moment money starts working harder than you do, your entire life begins to change. And maybe right now you're thinking, okay, but what if I have no money, no skills, no connections, nothing? Honestly, that's where almost everyone starts. Most rich people were not born knowing business, investing, or money management. They learned step by step. The first investment usually isn't stocks or real estate. It's yourself, your knowledge, your skills, your ability to solve problems. Because skills are the first asset poor people can build for free. Think about it. Someone learns video editing, sales, coding, design, copywriting, or content creation online for free, then uses that skill to make money, then uses that money to buy assets. That's how the cycle often begins. Not with huge capital, with usefulness. Start small, read books, watch educational videos instead of endless entertainment. Learn one valuable skill deeply. Save even tiny amounts of money. Stop trying to look rich before becoming rich. Most people stay stuck because they want the rewards of wealth before building the habits that create it. But if you can become valuable, disciplined, and patient, money eventually starts finding you. Because at the end of the day, wealth usually doesn't begin in your bank account first. It begins in your mindset and your decisions. And if you're wondering how someone with no money, no skills, and no connections actually starts building wealth from zero, watch the next video. We're breaking down the simple daily steps that slowly turn broke people into wealthy people over time. And almost nobody realizes how powerful they are until it's too late. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this.